Today, we're going to be talking about Kuva Siphons and by extension, Kuva Floods. And I know what at least one of you is thinking. Toaster, I think you're having a circuit fry on you. Kuva Floods are not related to hunting a Lich. Why are you doing this? You're wrong. Just to put it bluntly. You see, DE, in their infinite wisdom of building a game with chewing gum, duct tape, and paper clips, decided that a good place to put the Requiem relics that contained the Kuva Lich kill words would be in the Kuva Siphon mission type. So, Ortis, you're not part of the script, Ortis. So let's start off with the difference between what is a Kuva Flood and what is a Kuva Siphon. Kuva Siphons are essentially the easy mode version, whereas Kuva Flood is the hard mode. Both missions play out exactly the same, so we're going to be doing the Kuva Flood because it's harder and it has the guaranteed chance at the Requiem relic. So, to that end, we have Inaros. Inaros was at one point my favorite frame in the entire game. Inaros Prime unfortunately came out after Inaros started to peter off in terms of usefulness, so I never bothered investing the Umbral mods into him. But what I should do is put Umbral Vitality Fiber and Intensify on him just to hit the Mimi HP. I'm not going to put any other Forma in him right now because his rework is coming out in March with the next update that's going to add Dante. But this is kind of what you should expect Inaros to get. You're going to want Hunter Adrenaline because this frame has no shields. So you have this vast health pool. With Negation Storm, you essentially give yourself Overguard. So Hunter Adrenaline with Negation Storm is going to give you all of the energy you need. And it, we have taken his 1 off in favor of Gloom. Quick interjection, dumbass Totama, you replaced the 3, not the 1. Taken some stats that help Gloom, Stretch, Continuity, and Flow. We're basically going to have infinite energy because of Hunter Adrenaline, and thanks to Gloom giving us Lifesteal, we'll be able to deal damage and heal off any damage we've taken. Corrosive Projection, just because these enemies are going to have armor. Arcane Grace means that whenever our health gets damaged, we have a chance for health regen. So you're more likely to, die because you got stuck somewhere than you are likely to die because the enemy shot you. And then we have Arcane Blessing. We don't need Arcane Energize on this Warframe because we have Hunter Adrenaline and a bottomless health pool, essentially. And Arcane Blessing just gives us meme-worthy levels of HP. And the weapon we're actually going to be using for this is going to be the Ignis Wraith. So we recently got this weapon finished in the chem lab of the dojo. It is kind of expensive to build, but this is the build for that. We've got Galvanized Aptitude, which is going to give us more damage per status effect that is affecting a target, with viral heat at the end. Because this is a flamethrower, it has heat on it. We're using Vile Acceleration. Now, normally, you would see me use Shred. I use Prime Shred because I have it, but you would use Shred on a weapon like this. Because the Ignis is a beam weapon, it has infinite body punch through. So you don't actually need to build punch through on it, which means that we're free to put Vile Acceleration on to get more fire rate. You could, if you wanted to, drop Hellfire in favor of Thermite rounds to get over a 100% status chance. But personally, I felt like just having the raw heat is better. You kind of want to weight yourself more towards heat because heat gives you more overall damage than viral will. The reason we're running viral is because Hunter Munitions makes it so that anytime we crit, we have a chance for that crit to apply a slash proc. Sinister Reach just gives us an extra 12 meters of beam length. This essentially makes this flamethrower a sniper rifle. If you are worried about ammo concerns, you could put on either Rifle Ammo Mutation or vigilante supplies, you don't need stabilizer on this weapon because this weapon has no recoil. Much like other beam weapons, excuse me. You could put on Twitch, not for the recoil, but for the minus spread, because this weapon does have some spread to it. I just don't think it's necessary. I think you're going to get the most out of Sinister Reach. And then we are, of course, using Primary Merciless to get all of that extra damage. We are also pairing that with the Oxalato. This is a bit of an older weapon. You can see that I have Accelerated Isotope on a negative polarity here. That's because this weapon, this mod recently came out, and I didn't need to reforma this weapon to have it fit, so I didn't bother. But we've got Lethal Torrent for fire rate and shot speed. The unique mod to this build is Hemorrhage. This weapon is mostly impact. As you can see, it's 21 impact, 3 puncture, 10 slash. That means that it's a mostly impact based weapon. For mostly impact based weapons, we want Hemorrhage because this essentially gives us a slash proc every time we have an impact proc. We pair that with Steady Hands to make it so that way we're accurate. The Galvanized Diffusion, Galvanized Shot. Galvanized Shot is going to give us a lot of damage. It's 120% damage per elemental affecting a target. Because this has the 3 innate physical, some people call it innate puncture and slash, or impact puncture slash, innate physical damage, innate physical spread. It's called IPS. It has these 3, and then we also have heat, radiation, and viral. So we have 6 different procs we can get. Hemorrhage doesn't actually add a proc since this weapon already has slash on it, so you still only get the 6. But that's 6 times 120, which is a lot of upfront, or which is a lot of backloaded damage. Hey guys, what's up? Another quick interjection from me here. What I should have explained is that it is for every unique status effect. So if you put 500 heat procs on something, it won't actually burn it for 5,000% more damage. It's if you have a heat, a viral, and a slash, that will give you 3 times that 120 for 360% more damage once we start getting those kills. And then Cascadia Flare means that every time that we proc heat, which is what this weapon actually has the most weighting to, with 59 heat, which is higher than everything else thanks to primed heated charge, we get up to 480% damage. This kind of just shows how insane secondary weapons are in terms of damage. The highest damage weapons in the game right now are secondaries, because of Cascadia Flare and how much better Galvanized Shot is compared to Galvanized Aptitude. That is because Galvanized Aptitude, as we saw, caps out at 2 stacks for 80% damage, while Galvanized Shot caps out at 3 stacks for 120%. And then finally, we are using my Nakana Prime because I am a weeb. This is what is known as a mixed build, which means that we're building both for our normal light melee attacks, taking things like Primed Fury and Quickening, while also building for heavy attacks with mods like Killing Blow and Amalgam Organ Shatter. Gladiator Might is just here for the crit damage. Amalgam Organ Shatter also gives us crit damage. Dreamer's Wrath gives us crit damage. And thanks to the Sacrificial Steel mixed with Sacrificial Pressure, we get 105 base crit chance before we stack up Blood Rush's 480% additional crit chance. So we will end up red critting with this weapon. We run melee exposure. This isn't the greatest because I'm using Anaros, and Anaros really doesn't spam his spells too much, but I really don't have another melee arcane to kind of fit. And we can, throw out one a lot to get some corrosive, but we're going to be using Decisive Judgment. All other than Tranquil Cleave, all of the stance mods are pretty good. I don't know why Decisive Judgment randomly gives the slide attack double damage, but I thought I would point that out. While our school itself does not matter, our operator does for this mission, and we'll get more into that when we actually get into the Kuva Siphon / Kuva Flood. Hey guys, another quick interjection from me here. The mission that was available for Kuva Floods was a spy, and y'all know me, I don't do spies. So I went on ahead and cut right when a Kuva Flood that actually spawned. That was something I wanted to do. I should have gone over the actual Kuva Flood spawning mechanics. I did not. At the tail end of this video, I will have a post-recording section that's all about how that occurs and how you can kind of cry when DE doesn't give you what you want. Jump into the mission. So this is a rescue Kuva Flood. With missions that have an actual objective, you'll want to do the Kuva Flood before you do the objective. That way you're not trying to except for the capture, you want to capture the target first. But how this is going to work is somewhere in here, we're going to see, we're just going to stack up my Scarab armor real quick. So we see that we have two objectives. I'm just gonna burn these guys down. Now what we are looking for is the Kuva Siphon, and it's going to look like a weird machine with tentacles. And yes, I said it like that intentionally. As you can see, Arcane Grace procced, so I'm healing. I'd rather do the flood before I rescue the target, but I don't think it's going to spawn before then. Refresh my iron skin a bit. Alright, so this is the Kuva Siphon. Let Lotus talk real quick.
The machines are coming to life. There's Kuva in the air.
So, this is the Kuva Siphon, this braid. You can't actually deal damage to this thing directly, as I'm demonstrating here. And that is because you don't actually destroy this machine by destroying it. You destroy this machine by destroying the Kuva that it's going to attempt to pull in. If we listen real quickly to that noise, you can see it's trying to suck in Kuva. So somewhere over in that direction, there's going to be a Kuva cloud. And all you need to do is shoot it with your amp. And that will break the braid. You can either shoot it with your amp, or you can void dash through it to destroy it. Once you've destroyed it 4 times, the machine itself will break. You just need to be kind of weary of that high-pitched noise. As you can see in the top right corner underneath my map, there is, first off, Kuva Guardians will spawn. There are those diamonds. If use your operator form to strike those Kuva clouds. Thank you, Lotus. That's what I was explaining. If you let those diamonds fill up with Kuva, you will fail the mission and you will have to restart because the Kuva braid will just leave. I'll let one get in just so you can kind of see those fill up, but I don't plan on that. Is so far away. Udon, no. Poor Udon. This is how Totama creates toast. If you're wondering why this is a Corpus mission with a Grineer thing, it is because the Kuva Fortress will randomly throw out these missions to nearby planets. So as you can see, it's getting sucked in. It got sucked in. They got a point.
That worked. Your operator form is key. Target the other Kuva clouds.
One more Kuva cloud to go. Oh my goodness. You can also, if you have abilities such as the Madurai Wave, you can hit it with the Madurai Wave as well. Because, you see I got 2,424 Kuva. That is because I actually let one of the braids fill up. You get the most Kuva by denying every braid. Because that's what the game wants you to do. You don't actually want to let the Kuva Siphon get any of the Kuva, because then you can pocket it yourself. That makes it sound like this mission is actually like really good for a Kuva farm. It's not for a few reasons. One, it's not replayable. Last time I checked, unless they have changed it since then, once I extract from this mission, the Kuva flood will be gone. So it's not repeatable. You have to wait for more Kuva flood missions to spawn.
Bypass complete. You may proceed.
Unless you just do Kuva Siphons, but the Kuva Siphons give so much less Kuva, and they don't have the guaranteed Requiem relic, that it's almost never worth actually doing these missions. You'll find that almost nobody runs these, because if you want Kuva, the Kuva survival on the Kuva Fortress is way better return on investment for your time as far as a Kuva farm. And if you want the Requiem relics, it's much easier just to keep killing your Kuva Lich's thralls and getting them that way, as opposed to doing this, especially when it's one of these longer mission types. I thankfully rolled in a rescue, which doesn't take too long to do, if I hadn't been doing it kind of slower to explain the mission mechanics. But if you get like a survival, you're stuck in that survival for 5 minutes. Like this is taking me just over 5 minutes, and I stopped and explained things and was talking. Like if this was a capture, I could have been done already. And as we can see in the rewards here, there we go, Requiem 2 relic. This is a good way to get the Orvius disc and the, oh, what's the stance for the glaives? The Astral Twilight stance for glaives are dropped from the Kuva Guardians. But those guys spawn on the Kuva Fortress too, so if you're wanting to farm them, you could just go to the Kuva Fortress. It really is hard to justify doing the Kuva Siphon or the Kuva Flood as a farm. Unfortunately, I think the Kuva Siphon actually... Nope, as you can see, it's gone. So, if I wanted more Requiem relics, I would have to just run... Let's run a quick capture just to kind of show proof of concept of if you don't stand around and talk, this will get way faster than a 5-minute recording or a 5-minute mission. Mostly just so I can pad the runtime of this recording, because I'm going to cut out... My recording is at 17 minutes, but there is stuff that I'm cutting out. So I want to get a little bit more just for the YouTube sake, you guys. I don't know if you guys necessarily appreciate it, but I've been liking the YouTube. I like the challenge of recording a video and all that fun stuff. So I figure, if I'm enjoying it, my brothers can be happy for me. This also goes to show that it doesn't actually tell you where that damn Kuva Siphon is. As you can see, it's just letting me go right to extraction. It's not actually telling me where the Kuva Siphon is. You kind of have to go out of your way to find it. A lot of the times, it'll be in a big open area because it wants you to have time to actually get it, and it's normally along the way to the exit. Is it actually like not along the way to the exit? And I have to go out of my way. It's in the room with extraction. What? If you forget how to fight these guys, you need to void dash through them to make them drop their weapon.
You're onto something, Tenno.
Burn these guys down. So as you can see, I've never really run into energy issues. Granted, these guys are level 28. It's summoning the Kuva. Void dash through it. If you're gonna do this mission, one thing that I didn't mention in the other mission that I will mention here, it's easiest to hit those things with a big AoE contamination wave from Madurai. It's a lot easier to hit the Kuva with that than it is to kind of void dash through it, or even use an amp, especially if you're using like the mode amp. Yeah, as you can see, I got that big wave.
My Kuva Siphons. Queen's immortal guard. You're just a waste of food.
Bro, she just called them a waste of food. I'm pretty sure these guys get fed like gruel, too. That's just harsh. I really hate that you never get the chance to kill that queen, because I'd rather kill that one than the other one. Personally, I mean, I'd rather kill them both, but... Where's the Kuva? It should come through that door. There it is. Yeah, the longest part... This is taking me about 3 minutes. This is the longest part of this mission. Is just... This is the problem with this mission, is you're literally just standing here. Waiting on the Kuva to spawn so you can destroy it. Like, I was actually done with the mission proper, like, less than a minute in.
Balls of festering flesh. You let them destroy my Kuva Siphons.
Let is a very strong word. Watched helplessly as I did it is much, much more accurate to what happened there. But anyway, guys, that is the Kuva Siphon, Kuva Flood. Kind of a weird episode to have for a Lich Hunt, but hey, you can get the Hey, we lucked out and got a Requiem Relic. I don't actually know the drop rate. Hold on. I, as a professional YouTuber, am going to real quick go on the Kuva Siphon Relic drop chance, and I'm gonna look it up. There's a 30% chance for Requiem Relic to drop from Kuva Siphon. So 100% chance on the Floods, 30% chance from the Siphons, and then they have a 5% drop chance from the Kuva Thralls. But anyway, guys, that is the end of this one. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, or I'll blow up Earth. I'm just kidding. I can't do that. I will blow up all of the Grineer on it. Later.